Dave Parody here, and in this video I want to explain why you should attend the Creating Your Online Presence course. Are you the owner of a solo or small professional practice who wants to increase the number and quality of the leads that you get through the internet? If so, you definitely want to attend this particular course. If you're an accountant, lawyer, engineer, architect, consultant, let me explain why this course is so vital to the growth of your business in the future. Let me show you how things work today, how do leads go and contact prospective suppliers. Well, it all starts with this. The prospect identifies they have a problem. This problem is big enough and it's hurting enough so that they say, I need to solve this problem. They will do one of two things. One, they will decide, okay, I'm going to do an online search for potential providers that can solve this problem. What should I search for? And they come up with some terms and decide what to search for. That's one thing they do. Or what they do is they go to someone that they trust, a friend, another business owner, and say, hey, can you refer me to someone who can help me solve this problem? Now, in the past, what we experienced was, well, if somebody got a referral, they immediately contacted you. That's not how it works in today's world of business. See, they do one of those two things, and then what they do is they always go and do a search. They use whichever terms, either it's a name if it's a referral, or those terms they thought of to search for solutions. And they do a search online, and they get a list of sites that the search engine, usually Google, returns to them and says, here are the best sites to meet this particular search. They look at that list, and the next thing they do is based on looking at that list and the information that they see, they decide, which site do I want to visit? Which site looks like it might be the site that can provide a solution to this problem that I need to solve? They decide which site they're going to visit, they click on it, and then they go and they explore that website, and they evaluate, is this provider the one that can solve my problem? And if they go and look at that information, they decide, yes, this provider can solve my problem, then and only then do they contact the provider. This is the process that a prospect uses. And so it's very important to understand, where does our online presence impact this process? Well, there are three specific areas. The first is here. Your online presence has to enable you to rank high enough in that search that you're on the first or at most the second page. You've got to be on the first or second page. If you're not, chances are they're not ever going to even see your site listed, so therefore you can't move to the next stage. So your online presence has to get you ranked highly. Then, second area, it has to present to them in that list something that is going to encourage them. In fact, they feel compelled to visit your site because they believe it is going to be the solution to their problem. And then finally, when they're actually on your site has to convince them, this is the solution you have been looking for. You need to contact me now. Those are the three areas that your online presence has to impact. And what really do you need to have in terms of the online presence? You need to have a compelling, optimized, relevant, content-filled website. That content has to be there, and it has to be done in the right way. Now, why is it so important? Well, it impacts in a number of ways. It starts by having this content recognized by others. They will link to the content, they will tweet it out, they will put it on Facebook, they will put it on other social media. And that recognition is taken into account by the search engines. They look at that as, hey, if a lot of people think that this content is relevant to solve this problem, we think that that's something we should rank high in the list. That's one of the key things in getting ranked highly. Of course, the search engines like Google go and look at your site, look at the pages, look what's on it, and say, based on what I see here, how should this be ranked for a variety of terms? So you have to make sure that your site is optimized so that when Google looks at it, they understand what your site is really about. Another area that your website is very important in is the information it provides in that list. Because when somebody's looking at it, they need to be able to make a decision very quickly and say, that's the site that I want to visit. And when they do visit, that's very important as well. Because the search engines take into account popularity of a website as denoted by number of visits. They figure if a number of people are clicking on this link, are visiting this website, that must be a relevant website. And so again, it improves the ranking that you have in that list. You get on that first page. And of course, finally, your website is so important when somebody is on the website to evaluate, do you really provide a solution or not? So that's why in this course, we really go through how can you create this online presence that is going to enable you to impact this process at those 3 key areas. You get a 48-page workbook, a very detailed workbook that will allow you to go back and answer the questions that you need to answer. And there's 2 key areas that we cover, the things that you'll learn. First of all, you're going to learn how to create your online presence so it attracts and converts prospects. You have to do both. And that's not enough though, because in the second part of the course, what we do is show you how to measure how well your website is actually doing. Is it working as hard for your business as it needs to? Many times we just put a website up and we hope. Well, I'm going to actually go into the back end and the tools and show you exactly how you can measure how well is your website doing. Is it giving you the results that it really should give you? Whether you do it yourself or you hire someone else to do it, after this course, you're going to have the knowledge you need to successfully complete a project of either creating or upgrading your online presence. If you don't have a website yet, no problem, because you'll see exactly what you need to do in order to create that first website. If you have a website now and you're not really happy with it, it's not giving you the results you think it should, again, you're going to have the skills to be able to work that project. And again, it's not something you have to do yourself. I talk specifically in the course about how you can search for someone that is going to be able to help you, that is going to really do a good job for you. You've heard the horror stories, but don't believe them all. There are really great providers out there. So this course is going to be held in 4 different cities this fall. In Calgary, Alberta on November the 4th, in Edmonton, Alberta on November the 5th, Vancouver, British Columbia, November the 8th, and the Greater Toronto Area on December 13th. Register today. Make sure that your solo or small professional practice has the online presence it needs to attract and convert prospects into paying clients. I'll see you there.